Sage Wanderer coming at you from my van down by the river. So it's not often that I lose it so bad I can't make a video. It's not often that I get so angry that I have to make a video 4 or 5 times and I delete every one because I just go over the top cuckoo. I go too Alex Jones on you. So I just uploaded a video which I promptly deleted because it was just too much. If you got to watch it, then you got to see some rare Sage rage. But I did delete it in favor of what I'm hoping now is going to be a little more calm video discussion. Now, I don't have all of the details on this mass shooting that occurred last night in California, but here's what I do know. That this venue was a nightclub in Thousand Oaks, California. The shooter was a 28-year-old man. He entered the nightclub about 11 p.m. and he, according to witnesses, commenced to shooting, killing 12 people, including a police officer who confronted him. I heard one witness say that they were throwing smoke bombs. So this may be another situation where you've got multiple shooters involved and not just a single shooter scenario. And they're going to sell us this single shooter scenario again. And I do believe when you're going to have witnesses who claim that there were more than one shooter, just like in Las Vegas. And I think that it doesn't take a rocket scientist to draw a parallel between the shooting that occurred last night in California and the shooting 1 year ago in Las Vegas. Because last night's concert venue, or last night's shooting was at a venue that advertised last night being country college night. In other words, it was a night set aside just for college-age country music fans. And so, I believe that this was not random. I don't think they're ever going to show us the connecting dots that make, that show that this person or persons targeted that venue because it had young country music fans in it. Just like the shooter in Las Vegas targeted that concert because it had young country music fans in it. That the biggest threat to communism is young, patriotic, and young veteran men and women who love their country and who are willing to stand up with the old coots like me who can barely still wield a sword and pistol. I can still do it. I just can't do it for more than a day or two in a row. But yeah, they're the only ones that would stand up with my generation and fight back against a communist takeover. So they want to target them, and they want to get as many of them as they can before we figure out what's going on. So the news networks, which are completely in bed with this communist attempt to take over the United States of America, they're covering this up, that these are targeted attacks, that the guy down in Texas shot up that church because it had conservative Christians in it. The guy in Las Vegas shot up that concert because it had conservative, Republican, pro-American people at the concert. And I believe beyond a shadow of doubt that last night's killings were not random. That this 28-year-old man picked that college town bar on that night because it was college country music night. I think it's high time that we wake up and smell the coffee. We are being hunted. Hashtag hunt Republicans. It wasn't just a figure of speech. From the shooting of Congressman Scalise to this current mass shooting of innocent people who just like country music. You know what's sad? Your average country music, college-age country music fan in California probably voted for Hillary. But, I think there's this assumption amongst people on the left that if there's banjos and fiddle in it, it must be Nazi music, it must be the KKK, it must be conservative, right-wing Christian zealots people that would listen to that racist music. I mean, I've heard people say stuff like that. Back in the day, I laughed. I thought it was funny. I'm like, jeez, you child. I figured they would wake up and smell the coffee. I didn't realize how widespread this belief was. And so we are in a civil war. You know, the Civil War didn't start in 1861. It started in 1855 in Kansas. That these kinds of shootings, back then they called massacres. These kinds of massacres were happening back and forth, leading up to the Civil War in the 1860s. And once again, like so much of the news today, this is a Civil War indicator. The guy that did the shooting last night, I'm just really not going to believe any evidence to the contrary. This individual targeted those people because he was targeting Trump supporters. Tell me what you think in the comment section, and if you're one of the 30 or 40 people that got to view the video, the first video I did before I pulled it down, I apologize, because that really, I have high emotions about this. You know, I'm a country music musician, and although I'm retired, I was retired before the Las Vegas thing happened. I sometimes still go back and play on stage. But anymore, I'm thinking that that's just a fool's game, to go out and put myself in a spotlight on a stage in a venue where left-wing communists are targeting conservative country music fans. And I assume they would hit the stage too, unless they know that the truth, that a lot of country music musicians are liberals. Willie Nelson, total Democrat. He's been a Democrat and a liberal his entire life. And he may be the reigning country music king right now, just because he's the oldest guy. He's the grandpa of country music right now. So, you know, it's a misnomer to think that everybody who listens to country music is conservative and pro-American. But it is the vast majority of country music fans are pro-American. You know, it's just mom, apple pie, Chevrolet, you know, country music. It all kind of goes together. And at any rate, I'm glad I dialed back in. I dialed back in the Alex Jones Sage Rage and pulled it back a little bit. But I had to do like 5 takes because it all ended up with me in this camera screaming, ah! Because I'm so upset that they're lying to us about what happened in Las Vegas. You know, he targeted those people because of who they were. And he was political, and it was a political hit. There may have been more shooters. It may have been an organized terrorist attack against conservative, right-wing American, pro-American people. And you're going to see this more and more till they don't let us, you know, Antifa won't let us come out in the daytime and get together and sing Kumbaya and wave the American flag and say God bless America without them trying to split our skulls open with bike locks. Now, we can't even go to a nightclub together, drink a few beers and go, you know, hail to America. America's great. Yay, God bless America. We can't say God bless America now without having to duck from somebody coming at us. How bad does it have to get before the average person wakes up and realizes they're being deceived, that these mass shootings are not accidents? And I guess I have some tolerance for people who want to take this into deep conspiracy land. But if you want to tell me this was just another nut, get off my channel. You're on the wrong channel. We know on this channel that there is always more than meets the eye. God save our republic. It looks like we're going down in flames.